Okay, I want to do an update, talk a little bit about crate training. It's kind of hard to see inside the crate because it's dark, but here she is. There's Ebony. So this morning she woke up at sunrise around 6:30 or so, and then I took her out to go potty, and she peed. And then I brought her in and I took that video I just posted this morning showing me training her this morning, feeding her her breakfast. Then after she ate breakfast, I played with her with a toy for a few minutes and I took her out and she had a bowel movement and pottied again. Then I brought her back in and I've been playing with her for about 45 minutes. She's been playing around the house and playing with toys. And now I've decided it's time to put her back in her crate for her to take a nap. So I wanted to show you how I do this. It's also how I do it in the middle of the night. She woke up twice last night, so I guess she just woke up once technically, because then the second time we got up for the morning. So she made it about 3 hours each time in between. And after I'd take her out to go potty, then I would bring her back into the crate, and I didn't want her to cry because I didn't want her to wake up my husband. So it's easy to let him cry, like I showed you in the other video where you go out of sight and then you come and reward them over and over again. That's a good time in the daytime, but when everybody in the house is asleep, then I'm trying to keep her quiet. I don't want to let her cry. So what I do is I put her in her crate, and then I leave the door open at first. And I just pet her like this. So I just lay down next to the crate and I just pet her. And she starts to relax. And the reason she's relaxing is because we've been playing for the last hour and a half or so. If I tried to do this morning when she woke up at sunrise, it didn't work. I actually tried because I wanted to sleep some more. But when they're ready to get up, they're ready to get up. And she would try to go to sleep and she'd relax and put her head down and curl up, but then she'd whimper and get back up again. And she was just antsy and moving around in her crate and biting on her crate door. I mean, she's just a puppy. She slept all night and she was ready to get up for the morning. So this only works when they're ready to sleep. And I pet her paw and I would pet her face and her ears. And I just laid down next to her. And this way she's being quiet so my husband can sleep and she's not making noise. And see how she just put her head down like she's ready to relax. And when she did that, I would shut the door. But I wouldn't leave right at first. I'd still stay here, laying down next to her crate, being with her until she relaxed, like she was ready to sleep. And I would wait long enough. See, she's going to bed now. She's understanding what the crate means. And once I felt like she was really relaxed, then I would go get into my bed and I'd go to sleep. And we would both sleep for a few hours. But if I just put her straight into her crate in the middle of the night after she went potty, then she'd be a little antsy and she'd be making noise and whimper for a little bit, and that might wake people up. So sitting here with her while she relaxes helps to keep her quiet in the middle of the night. So see how relaxed she is? Now I would just go to bed. And that's what middle of the night crate training is all about. I wanted to talk about when you let a dog out of their crate when they're crying. Because most of the time, when a dog is in their crate and it cries, you don't want to come to its aid. Because it'll learn that if it cries, it gets out of the crate. Or when it cries, you come to it. And that'll actually make it worse, where the dog always cries and has a fit, or maybe even gets separation anxiety where they freak out when you put them in a crate. Because they think if they act that way, you're going to come get them out of the crate. So as a general rule, you never want to come to your dog when it's crying, when it's in its crate. However, there are, basically one main time that you do come when they're crying. And that is if you get them to go to sleep like this, and then you go to bed, and they've been sleeping for a good hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, And then, so they've been quiet and behaving really well, and then they start whimpering and crying. Then I immediately come to them and I take them out to go potty, because that probably means that she needs to go, because she's been behaving really well and she's been quiet. So if she's like this for an hour or two and then she starts crying, I will come to her then and I'll open the door and I'll take her outside. And that actually teaches her to let me know when she needs to go to the bathroom. The difference is if you put them in the crate and they don't ever relax or sleep, then they just cry. You don't want to go to them then. You only want to go to them if they have relaxed and have been sleeping for a while and then they start crying. I hope that makes sense, the distinction. Another thing I wanted to mention is how long can a puppy stay in their crate? And the general rule of thumb is that you take how many months old they are. So she's 2 months old. She's almost 8 weeks. And then you add 1. And that's how many hours. So in her case, she could go 3 hours. She's 2 months old, so that's 2 plus 1 is 3. So I shouldn't expect her to go longer than 3 hours in her crate without having to go to the bathroom. So each month she gets older, adds another hour. Every once in a while you get a puppy that's just a superstar and can sleep through the night right off the bat and can hold it for a long time. But I actually experimented with her yesterday. We went on a horse ride and I left her in her crate while we were gone. And we were gone for a little longer than I thought. So we were gone for 5 hours. And sure enough, she did pee in her crate, which was a big mistake on my part because you never want them to develop that habit of peeing in their crate. So I cleaned it up really good, tried to get the scent out of there. I gave her a bath. And then from now on, I will not leave her in the crate for that long because I expect that she can't hold it. Anyway, that's the crate training update with Ebony. Oh, I think I forgot to mention, when I mentioned her schedule this morning and how she ate breakfast and then went potty and then we played, and I said we played for about 45 minutes with the toy. I think I forgot to mention that after playing, I took her outside and she went potty again, and then I came and brought her into this crate for the beginning of this video. Before you put them in a crate, you always want to have them have just gone potty. You want to set them up for success in everything that you do. So if you put them in their crate without them going potty first, then you're setting them up to fail and go potty in their crate, which sets a very bad habit. So you always want to start off their crate time with an empty bladder. And that's part of my mistake I made yesterday when she did go potty in the crate. Not only did I leave her in the crate too long, but also when I took her outside to go potty, she did have a bowel movement, but my other dogs came over and distracted her, so she started playing with them, and she never did go pee. And so then she peed in her crate. So I should have locked my other dogs up or played with her some more and then went back out again when she wasn't distracted before I put her in her crate. So that was my mistake I made yesterday.